Well, I think we're done with the freeze for a while. So, getting the bees out of the house. But first off, we've had a number of new subscribers show up on the channel. Just wanted to point out that there are quite a few videos in the archives. I tried to separate them into categories or groups, but I'm not sure if that worked or not. There's a lot of new beekeeper stuff. I tried to run through a spring rundown last year as I was doing things, and probably will do it again this year. But you can go through the dates on them and kind of see what you're looking for, forward to for spring bees. Anyway, and thanks for joining us. Hope I can get content out to you that is helpful. You can ask questions on anything, about on any video about anything, and I can usually find those and try to get them answered for you. My email is in the about part of the channel, so if you need to send me an email more lengthy than what you want to do on a video, go ahead and send it. So anyway, so I put a lot of these smaller colonies that I had moved into the nukes, I put them in the greenhouse, but then we were going to have the bad freeze and they don't have a lot of protection in here, so I took them in my house. So they've been locked up for a week, and they've got food on them, and I put in a towel with some water, so they had water. But I am absolutely certain they're ready to get out and use the facilities. So it's warm in the greenhouse today. The sun was shining. These girls are barreling out of there. So they're going to come out and do their orientation flight because they don't know where they're at. They've been locked in there a while. And then hopefully they'll get their business done and get back in there before it gets cold again tonight. It's not supposed to be freezing, but it'll still be chilly. I just knew in these little nukes with only a couple frames of bees in there that they were going to struggle if we got down in the teens. Well, luckily we didn't get there. But I also had to keep opening or closing the door in the room they were in to cool it down in there because they were a little too active. So there's some girls come out of that one. Yeah, well, maybe they'll have a chance to make it now. We'll see. Winter's hard on them. When I get through the rest of my bees, try to get them treatments this week probably. I'll get that on video for you. I also tried a new little trick that I'll probably talk about a little bit on this one before I get it edited. We got these sugar blocks that I did in baggies, little cuts on them that hopefully they can get up into and get feed, but yet they're easier to put on than just a block, and shouldn't just run all over them if it gets too wet. Now these girls stayed out here. They're in a shallow box that I tried to make mating nukes out of, and this is one that was still going, but being a smaller box and a better box, I went ahead and left them in here, and they made it through the cold all right. Now they've got fondant right on their heads, which helped and gave them something to eat, but they're still in there. You go, girls. So I'm shaking this camera all over, sorry guys. So I've done this experiment with quart bags. I needed a bunch of them to go in those smaller nukes, so I thought they would work better. Gallon bag would probably work fine for a 8 frame or 10 frame box. My whole idea is that you are making basically a sugar brick inside of this, so you're trying to get it to the point that they will solidify and get fairly hard. As you can see, this is pretty hard, but there's enough moisture in there that they can use it to get the sugar out. Then a couple of slits on the bottom, nip the corners out of it, possibly even open up the end of the bag so that they can walk right in there and get it. It's going to help insulate on top. It's going to provide food right there, It's like I say, it's an experiment. We'll see how it works. I believe they can probably open those slits up and get up into the sugar as they need, but yet it should keep it from just turning to liquid and running on their heads. If they get too much moisture in the hive, it's going to protect that some. So anyway, it's an experiment. We're going to give it a try. The advantage to this over just making sugar cakes, it's easier to handle to get onto your hives. You don't have a whole bunch of loose sugar bricks or wrapped up in wax paper or anything else. They're easy to prepare in the house here. And what was working pretty well was 4 cups of sugar and about 1/3 of a cup of water. Some of these ended up a little wet. So anyway, we'll let you know how it works.